Hey, what do you know? Back on the air. April 22nd now, 08. And today's a big day in the political arena as Obama and Clinton duke it out in PA. I don't know. I don't think either one of them's going to get in. I think the convention's going to get deadlocked. And it's going to be real television drama. Like one of those million ballads, backroom cigar-filled smoke, compromise will come out. Maybe John Edwards will get in there. I think Obama and Clinton are just too much for the country to digest. Whatever the political forces that may be, they certainly don't include the drifting too far off the beaten path of corporate greed, the military-industrial complex, special interests, the subservience to the rich, the influence of the rich and the powerful, and things, along those lines, which have always been the hallmark of so-called democracies. The exploitation of the worker, screwing the average Joe every which way possible while protecting the interests of the well-to-do landed gentry. And of course that evolved into corporate sacred cows, these motherfuckers, they make mistakes and they get bailed out. But if me and you make a mistake, we're hung up to dry, backwards, upside down, money out of our pockets, and screw you. McCain, he's just another one of these guys that, a mule to pull the corporate cart yet another 4 years. And I cannot, based on my experience, say whether or not that's a good thing overall or not. You see, that's the problem with taking a political stance, is that you really can't be sure, based on all the factors that go into any sort of attempt to construe reality in the correct manner. It's very easy to make pronouncements about everything, but you really can't see the entire picture, and that's what makes taking a political stance very tenuous at best. Unless you're getting paid for it like a commentator, then you can bullshit everybody any which way. You can do this, and you can point to that, and you can pontificate on this, but really knowing where a particular issue is centered and the ramifications of it all, it's just beyond anyone's skill. Most people are in the game to shoot craps, and they try to stack the odds as much as they can in their favor. That's the way it is, I think. Basically a crapshoot. Some people are born into a more advantageous position than others. I mean, you know, it appears to me that most people are born out of some drunken lust, you know, and there's not much thought being given to the outcome of such, knocking boots and creating children just on the spur of the moment. And so most people are cast right into the maelstrom of existence in such a haphazard manner. There's very little planning done, and there you are, you know, a little caught, and you're in a world that you didn't particularly ask to get into, but here you are. And the world is uncompromising no matter what, and especially uncompromising to the poor and underprivileged. So it really helps to have a silver spoon in your mouth. Not that that helps anyone's character, because basically it's every dog for himself, and if you turn the other way, you get a shiv in your ribs. That seems to me, you know, I mean, there's nothing that disgusts the average person more than another person next door doing better than they're doing. They want to see you down, they want to see you groveling, they want to see what you had in your hand, they want to see you toothless and shoeless and broke, you know, and eating food stamp food, and, you know, and the current administration, you know, has really been into that kind of separation, you know, walling off the rich from the poor, you know. But as I was saying, I don't know whether or not that's good or bad. I mean, theoretically, you want people to be more on equal footing. But whether that would make society a better place, or life any more tolerable, or things any better for the average person, that's really impossible to say. I mean, they did try to create more equal societies theoretically in China and Russia, and that went up in smoke. I mean, that didn't work. They didn't know how to do it. And, you know, and I suppose that's what Obama and Clinton represent, is a more beneficial temperament towards those who have less, whereas McCain is stooge for those who already have grabbed up as much of the goods as is possible, and they would like to gather up more and more of your goods, and take what's out of your pocket and stick it in theirs. And of course have no responsibilities, throw the entire tax burden and, you know, the cost of war, and send your children off to battle while they're able to hide their own in fancy damn universities and you know, places where they can't be gotten at by the military. Well, that's basically what the person has, is, you know, you give up your children for the battle, and the battle to keep the corporate coffers nice and full.